Okay, we have a slight variation on the trinomials that we saw in the first one. I thought we were going to the hardest ones next, but we're not quite ready. There is a variation, gives students a lot of trouble, but it really doesn't need to. We're looking at trinomials again, but what they've done is they've thrown in some extra letters. Instead of just having x squared at the front, we also have y squared on the back. And I know this looks difficult, but the truth is it is exactly the same. All we're going to do is do what we did before. This is how we would have started one in the last section. We would have just put two x's. Well, if there's y's on the back, we're just going to add y's back here. That's it. Everything else is then going to be exactly the same. So I've got x, y in the middle, I got x's on the front, y's on the back. They combine in the middle. This is all it would be. I'm still going to play the same game. Two numbers that multiply to get 36 and add to get 12. Do you agree that these are the two? Now, if you can't see how this would work, I don't blame you. It makes your head spin a little. But if you FOIL this, see what's going to happen. X times x is x squared. X times 6y is 6xy. This one, 6y times x, the order in which you multiply things doesn't matter. 6yx is the same thing as 6xy. It's the same thing. Just like 2 times 3 gets you 6, 3 times 2 gets you 6. It doesn't matter. So when you FOIL this out, you're going to get 6xy, another 6xy. They add up to get me 12 of those. 6y times 6y, 36y squared. So there'll be plenty of examples, but let me show you some more. All I'm going to do here is, same thing I did before, got my letter in the front. Now I got v's on the back. Don't worry about it. Just put the v's on the back. Now, let's look at 28. What are the numbers? I don't initially see it, so I'm going to break it down. It's probably easy. Okay, so you probably see it right away. I am not seeing it. I see it now. 28. Oh my, this is a very simple one. I should have seen this. Okay, but here's our numbers. 28 breaks down. I couldn't find them, so I'm going to show you again how I would do this. 28 is 2 times 2 times 7. So it's got to be some combination. And so, which I should have seen, is I just add those together, multiply those. That's 4 and 7. That's what works. So plus 4 plus 7. Add together to get 11, multiply to get 28. All right, pause it if you want to try this one. All right, I'm just going to put my x's and now y's on the back. Everything else is going to stay the same. Now you break down 42 over here, and this looks to me like this is going to be the obvious one. Yeah, that's it, right? 13, yeah. Okay, that will multiply to get to 42, add to get to 13. And the xy takes care of itself when it FOILs. Remember, the order you multiply things doesn't matter. So 7xy and 6yx, they're the same. You can add those and make 13xy. All right, so this is not a long section here. We're just going to go through the variations that can happen. So I'm going to jump to the chase here. We've got r's and s's, r's and s's. Now we're looking for -9. So I'm going to have two opposite signs. Two numbers to multiply get -9, add to get -8. Do you agree with these two that they chose here? 1 and -9 do it. So they just put it in down here. And even though it doesn't look like it, there's really a 1 there, right? 1s. Okay, try this one. Okay, two numbers. So I'm doing the A and B thing. But it's otherwise the same. I need two numbers that multiply to get 10 and add to get -1. Well, do you remember this is going to need to be two negative numbers? And although this one's kind of easy, it may not, like people don't always see it. You can always do the number and 1. So 10 is -10 and -1. That multiplies to get 10, adds to get -11. You may not have seen that right off the bat. I'm going to add my ends. Yeah, they actually did the same trick on this one. I'm going to need two numbers that make 12 and that add to get negative 13. That's going to be negative 12 and negative 1. Those multiply to get 12 and add to get the negative 13. I don't know, are they doing something? Yeah, I wondered. I didn't want to do it myself because I wondered if this is where they were going. This is a tricky one because 12 has so many different options. Look at all the ways you could try to create this, but none of them are going to create the negative 9. So this one is stuck, and you'd say, hey, that's prime. Okay, I'm sure, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. I'm sure they're giving us right after that because this is prime. You could go through all the combinations and you would find there's no way to make the negative 7. Well, there's so many here, but so you could do negative 1 and 10. You could do 1 and negative 10. I will go ahead and show this because I guess there's not too many choices. Now we're close here. This looks so tempting, like negative 7. But no, because I have to have opposite signs here to make negative 10, this will not work. These add together to get 3, so it can't be done, and I would say prime. Now I'm assuming we have another prime one. I'm trying to think in my head here what our choices are. Well, I'm going to do my method here. It's going to be prime, but I'm going to do it like this. 20 is made up of 2 times 2 times 5. So let's go through the combinations. I could lasso this and make 10 and 2. No. I could lasso this side and make 4 and 5. No, it doesn't work. So there's no other combinations I didn't try that create two numbers. We're stuck. So this can't be done. Okay, so that's not a very long section. The only twist is you've got the letters on the front and the back. It really doesn't change anything. Don't let that stress you out. And now we'll look at the harder ones in the next section.